light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got all night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for that Monday boxing recap known as the Shoe Shine. All right, you guys know the drill. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish Driva will be in the buildings. I just got a text message from him that his laptop went into auto update mode again. But you think, Drew, you might want to start updating the laptop when you get home from work. I'm just saying, man. You got to call on the show as soon as possible, Drew. How's everybody doing out there today in YouTube Landia, guys? Good to see everybody. The 1st of December, and I set up the tree in the back. Made a mess all over myself with that flock tree. I broke a flock tree this weekend too. I had two, and I broke one. Damn Big Lots trees. Y'all remember Big Lots? Yeah, that tree didn't last. Now there's the Big Lots too, by the way, guys. Good to see everybody in the chat. Crypto Hippie NFT, good to see you, my brother. 702, man. Kevin says, ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué huele, vatos locos? Sonteo Media, good to see you as well. Now, like some of you guys, I was interested in some boxing this weekend. And to be honest, I didn't catch the exciting card from Fresno. I heard it was pretty good, the Pro Box card, as I should have. But I did tune in Saturday midday to see Ben Whitaker because, well, I was kind of interested in Ben Whitaker as his career was progressing. Silver Olympic medalist. And a guy who was showboat. I mean, he reminded me of the old school boxers back in the day that had a lot of charisma, you know? And those type of fighters, when I was young, they always were endearing to me because they were showmen. They put on shows in the ring. Prince Nassim, of course, until he got humbled by Barreras. And then there was the great Augustus. You guys remember him from ESPN. Gave so many people so many great fights. Augustus, the Drunken Master. Oh, man, I love to watch that guy. And then you got Ben Whitaker, today's version of those guys who has a lot of tricks. He can do a lot of things in the ring, but of course, against low-level opposition. Then he finally stepped it up in competition, and he had that horrible fight where, it seemed he to have faked an injury to get out of that fight. He fell out of the ring and whatnot. But ever since he's been back, it looks like the showboating is reduced. The showboating, not so much. But he's not really fighting fighters that anybody would give a damn about, but he got the job done this weekend, guys. And in just one round, Eddie Hearn, ecstatic. He's just, couldn't be happier with the performance Ben Whitaker did. Again, one round. That's all I watched this Saturday. Maybe I watched a little bit of the co-main. It lasted all but one round against Gavazzi. He beats Gavazzi in round one. Clinical knockout right there. A very solid knockout performance against what some people might say, was an opponent not up to par. I'm still waiting for Drew, guys. Hopefully he's going to join me. Crypto Hippie NFT says, so Pro Box was pretty good, but disappointment of the night was Manny Pacquiao Jr.'s debut. Absolutely. Oh, my God. So many people have reached out to me, asking me what I thought about that. First and foremost, shout out to the journeyman fighter who is also a school teacher. And Sonteo Media is in here. And shout out to you. He said he had fun at the Chargers-Raiders game yesterday, my daughter's first game. I'm so happy to hear that. Going back to this Manny Pacquiao Jr., it's kind of a great week for them as a family. Manny Pacquiao and his wife Jinky become grandparents in his professional debut week. His son had his first baby. So, Manny Pacquiao, congratulations to him, is now officially a grandpa. But his son, and I'm talking about school teachers, the guy he fought is a school teacher. And Sonteo Media might remind us, but I believe the Murataya brothers were also school teachers, or at least one of them was a school teacher while also being a professional boxer. If not, both of them were in education. Shout out to Manny Pacquiao Jr.'s opponent, and if anybody knows his name, who gave him a hell of a fight, first fight. A lot of you who did see that fight will say that the Manny Pacquiao performance was not what they expected. I had heard that he had been doing really good in training camp. Now I'm hearing that Manny Pacquiao doesn't want his son to fight again unless it's under his direction, which may not be a bad idea. But he got lucky and they gave him a draw. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao could have been a 47-year-old world champion this year, inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he is now also a grandfather. So this, there was some silver lining in that performance and of this week. So Teofimo, he fought Brendan Lally, who was also making his debut. All right, man. I'm still waiting for Drew, guys. You guys see that picture? Shout out to everybody that's been playing along on our Tailgate Thursday. Want to give you guys a quick update. We're going to be playing right up until December 22nd. And the winner, first place winner, is going to get a $100 Amazon gift card from me. If there is a draw, well, we're just going to have to split it into two $50 gift cards. And when I say draw, we have 702 Man Cave. I believe he tied with Paul. Paul's not in here tonight, but he is the upset king. Paul and him picked 10 wins. Drew and I apparently only picked 8 this weekend. This weekend was full of surprises. And tonight, if you guys just watched Monday Night Football, no surprises that Derek May and Cardi B's baby daddy, one of the baby daddies, they had a pretty strong game offensively, of course, beating the New York Giants' Jackson Dart. By the way, Jackson Dart walked into the facility today wearing what some people reported to be his mother's leather coat and a purse. Now, I'm not going to knock him. I'm not going to knock him and allude that he may be a little bit on the flamboyant side. Well, his fashion is flamboyant, but I'm not so sure what's going on in the NFL with some of these people picking up on Gervonta Tank Davis's fashion sense. Hey, shout out to Paul. Him and Man Cave both again today. They had a draw. They had 10. Yeah, well, one of Cardi B's baby's daddies. I'm not sure. Is she trying to go for another baby? This is ridiculous. Only the elite people can have 5 babies or 6 babies right now. Like unless you're on government handouts. I mean, it's just impossible to have a huge family. But shout out to her. Shout out to them. They could be the best team in the AFL. You tell me, guys, in the AFC. Quickly, let's look at that. Patriots 11-2. Ravens still in first place in the AFC North, as bad as they are. The Jaguars, a solid team. They beat the 49ers. The Broncos yesterday, while I wait for Drew, the Broncos, they almost blew it. They've had so many close wins, ridiculously amount of close wins, and they're 10-2. But I got to give it up to the Washington Commanders that almost beat them in OT. They actually probably could have beat them had they not made some coaching errors. And the Commanders were gutsy, man. They played a hell of a game on Sunday Night Football. I enjoyed it very much. I was rooting for Deebo Samuel, to be honest. Good old Deebo was on there, made a big play, almost got that touchdown. And had that been a touchdown, Commanders could have won that. The Commanders played with a lot of heart. And the irony of it, guys, Jake Moody didn't miss a kick. Yeah, Jake Moody ends up on the Chicago Bears. 49ers let him go. He ends up on the Bears. The Bears let him go, and he ends up on the Commanders, which is the same team. Deebo Samuel, you guys might not know this, but Deebo Samuel pretty much smacked Jake Moody when he missed one of those kicks last year. He pretty much just smacked him and assaulted him on the sidelines, and now they find themselves on the same team, ironically. Yeah, the Bears, obviously, the home of the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. His house got egged. Where's my Twitter account? Let me see. This is pretty shocking what some people will do. This is a video. Oh, actually, let me get back here. Drew's calling in here. Good to see you. Shout out, Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie?
What's up?
Well, I was just getting into this video, Drew. The Philadelphia, you told me about this story, and here it is. I am looking it up, man. But a group of Eagles fans allegedly found defensive coordinator Kevin Patullo's home and started throwing rocks at his home this weekend. This is very disturbing and disgusting to watch. And here's a little bit of video on that. I think this is shocking. But what are your thoughts on that, Drew? I mean, this is going too far, right?
It's going a little too far and everything. Like I don't understand, but it's a little too far.
Yeah. It's a little. That's it. A little too far. I mean, all right. You guys lost a very competitive game against potentially one of the best teams in the NFC as well.
I don't think it wasn't competitive. It was far from competitive.
So they're mad at your offensive coordinator, Drew. I mean, is he really the fall guy?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. It's mostly him. And I think it was because of his ego that he's not going to go look at shit that worked last year. He's trying to put his own twist on shit, try to get a head coaching job. And I don't think it's working. I don't it's making it really worse on him. And then, you got other people trying to put stories out there. The Philly media is the worst media in the city, man. They do anything to get clicks, some bullshit stories and everything. I can't believe anything they said because they're trying to say that Jalen Hurts said to the coaches he didn't want to win as much as he did last year. Why would he say that? Like, come on. I think that's really gotta be ridiculous now. Now they're trying to come up with anything. The offensive line hasn't played well. They've been injured, but they haven't played well either. Saquon hasn't played well. He hasn't nailed his holes the way he's supposed to. He's missed holes. Jalen Hurts missed wide open receivers that game, too. But at the same time, it looks like a junior high offense and everything. And to me, and I said this to a couple people, if Nick Sirianni doesn't stop the bleeding like he couldn't do it in 2023, I believe that Nick Sirianni should be fired.
Wow.
And because you said you're not changing offensive coordinators. So here's the thing. In my opinion, fine. But if you don't stop the bleeding, you need to get fired too.
Hey, Drew, shout out to Crypto. He brought up a very interesting, this weekend I was telling everybody I did watch the 1-round fight of Ben Whitaker. And Ben Whitaker fought. He knocks out his opponent. And then I find out, guys can read the story on boxingscene.com. But his house, like a lot of NFL players, a lot of professional athletes have been victim to this with crazy, crime rings going around the U.S. But Ben Whitaker, they took it upon themselves to break in and rob the man, burglarize his home while he was fighting for his city, fighting this fight. And this is something that's happening to a lot of high-profile athletes right here in the U.S. So I wonder if this is now becoming an international thing where crime rings are targeting elite athletes. They know they're out at the stadium or they're out of town, and they're just calculating the risk and breaking into their houses. This is pretty nuts. Look at this. Check that out, man. What color? Hey, thank you guys. Hit that like button. They took his whole belt. Which belt was that? I mean, I will say this. Let Drew know what color you guys like. Drew, you playing with the colors? You got a little new light? Check that out.
Yeah.
That one's kind of dim. It's like one of those projectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I'll show you one of these things.
Yeah. There you go. Put the whole galaxy behind you.
I paid Zoom, and I didn't even pay for this shit.
There you go. That looks cool. But speaking of Ben Whitaker, Drew, in boxing news, he got the attention finally, and I mentioned this a very long time ago. I said, you know what? Ben Whitaker it would suit him well to get a match with David Benavidez. When I said that, it was probably a year and a half ago, close to 2 years ago. David Benavidez is a superstar now. He comes to Las Vegas and he headlines. He's headlining Riyadh season cards, and looking spectacular at light heavyweight. I didn't think that David Benavidez would progress to becoming the WBC light heavyweight champion so quickly. Ben Whitaker and David Benavidez are the exact same age, 28 years old. But Ben Whitaker took that whole Olympic approach, the amateur approach that, Lomachenko and so many other high-profile boxers, Usyk, have. They stayed in the amateurs pretty long, and because of that, he's a silver medalist, Drew. But David Benavidez is entertaining. It seems like he's entertaining. He said, guy's got a little bit of development, but it might be an interesting fight. What do you think, and what does the chat think about the possibility of Ben Whitaker in the ring with someone like David Benavidez?
Well, look, here's the thing. Here's the first thing I want to ask you. Have you heard about? Okay, I don't know if that was me or you, but first of all, have you heard about the story of Riyadh season? The Saudis are actually losing money.
I did hear about that. I'm not sure what publication was posted in that they were running out of money. Yeah, supposedly they're running out of money. But
and who would be the first ones to suffer for it? Boxing.
So what's the fund, guys? The International Investment Fund or something like that, investment fund of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, they would definitely. But, today you saw it on the thumbnail. They're announced January 31 that they're going to have the first Riyadh season card, and it's going to feature Teofimo versus Shakur. And it's probably going to have a very stacked card. So are they running out of money, or do they have, unlimited amount of money to put back into that fund?
The they're going to probably have this on pay-per-view, and it's going to be, and it's not going to do much on pay-per-view. I'm sorry, but they're saying it's not a pay-per-view fight.
What do you think? Well, at one point they both fought on Top Rank, right? They were both Top Rank fighters. At one point it would have been an ESPN televised fight,
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think there are no fights in boxing anymore that are pay-per-view fights. And I think that you could thank PBC for that. And you could thank Turkey Al-Sheikh for that, because they'll misplacing the value of boxing, and it's not working. And like now, of course they're losing money. The subscriptions in the U.S. for DAZN have dropped dramatically still. They still dropping. And even after, this is our new thing, they dropped even more. So why would I waste my money on that? And especially now that you have the Fire Sticks and the non-league or super box, that you pay a one-time fee, by the way, and you never pay another cable bill again, and you get all.
Did you get one? Did you get a super one?
I wish I get one. I wish I could afford one right now.
Oh man!
But
we gotta help Drew out.
When I get my own place, I'll probably get one for the living room. But I look at it as in like. The casual boxing fan isn't really there anymore. And the hardcores are not really into these cards anymore because of what DAZN's doing. And then now you got a card that's not really a bad-looking card for PBC, but you want to charge $89 for it.
That's a lot of cash, Drew. I'm just going to put it up here really quickly, guys. Go ahead, Drew.
And I'm sorry, not a lot of casuals know about this to pay $89 for an event like this. It's not a pay-per-view card.
There's a lot of great fighters on this card Saturday. I'll have to run by these fights with you at the end of the show, but Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach, who arguably beat Gervonta Tank Davis. That headlines it. You got a championship matchup with Arizlandi Lara versus Janabek. Unification, middleweight unification. Philadelphia's Stephen Fulton versus Oshaki Foster, 2 world champions. And then coming up later before Christmas, we've got this Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua Netflix special. You got influencer boxing too. That's not listed, but I'll talk about that later. And you have the big Inoue fight versus Mexican Alan Picasso to round out, the year. But again, Drew, you got to pay. You got to pay a lot of money to be a boxing fan these days, and that's why this channel can't grow. By the way, this is free.
The sport of boxing is dead. Like these guys killed it, and fans are trying to figure out reasons. Part of the fans are part of the reason why too is sports dead, but it's mostly promoters and everything, and people trying to overvalue shit, and it's just a shame, man, about it how the sport overcame and everything. This isn't De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins. Pacquiao, Floyd era and everything. That it's not like that. It's not even close to it. And I think people need to realize that. And that's why it's one of the main reasons why me and Dave have ventured out of not just doing boxing.
Hey, by the way, Drew, shout out to MAW1231. I appreciate you so much. Super chat for $10. Oh, that's that Christmas spirit. I appreciate you. He says subscribe, share, and smash that like button, folks. Oversaturation of pay-per-view is not doing sport any favors, but we're just created to justify how much the fighters want. No, how much the fighters want in terms of fighter pay, I'm presuming. And yeah, I don't think they can come up with the ridiculous amounts of pay that some of the fighters want. Well, look at like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is, how much he earns per fight, or how much recently in the last Riyadh season. I was blown away. Let me give props, by the way, to Devin Haney. And I got this Devin Haney glove that we're going to figure out how we're going to give away that Devin Haney glove. But Devin Haney got paid an insane amount, Drew. He has got to be one of the highest paid athletes in Las Vegas. And now he's a 3-division world champion? Yeah, insane. And even Brian Norman Jr., who some people thought was an idiot for turning away $1.7 million to fight Boots Ennis, he nearly doubled that. I think he walked away with $3 million for his birthday and a first loss on his record.
Well, here's the thing. He would have probably beat Ross by Boots. And his name, it wouldn't mean nothing getting beat up he would have got knocked out bad by Boots. That fight showed Brian Norman just didn't belong there. Even though Devin Haney held most of the time and everything. And Devin Haney didn't really show anything either in that fight.
What do you guys in the chat think? Was that a good performance by Devin Haney? We talked about it a little bit last week. I mean, I think that was the best Devin Haney can do. I saw Devin Haney fight Lomachenko live. Me and Fonzie were there for that one. We thought it was a very close fight, but I personally thought Devin Haney didn't win that. I think he destroyed at 140 pounds the WBC champion in San Francisco that night. That was a good victory, and I thought this was pretty close to it. I mean, there weren't 3 knockdowns, but this was a pretty solid win. I think it's the best Devin Haney can do, Drew, personally. Now, so W says, I'll watch Usyk versus Wilder. I'm loving this announcement, Drew. Speaking of Eastern European fighters, Ukrainian fighters, what are your thoughts about this announcement? Because Usyk dropped one of his belts. No longer is he undisputed. And some people thought, well, it really doesn't matter because at this point, he's trying to dictate who he wants to fight. And I'm surprised that, well, he wants to get in the ring with someone who's well past their prime, in my opinion. But maybe he had an affinity for Deontay Wilder and he thought, I'd like to share the ring with him. But he wants to give Deontay Wilder an opportunity. What do you make of this?
I think this is a cherry pick.
It's a cherry pick? Yeah,
I'm a
stage
big
career
Usyk,
cherry pick?
I'm a big Usyk fan and everything, but I think this is too easy of a fight for Usyk. I think Deontay Wilder is done and over with. Like that equalizer, he ain't gonna be able to end that equalizer on Usyk. Usyk might end up. Usyk might be the one that knocks him out.
Could very well be. I was shocked by this one, guys. But I mean, if that's who he wants to fight, I mean, who am I to say anything? Crypto also agrees with you. He says Wilder's getting knocked out.
Like, here's the thing. I understand Usyk at the end of his career, and I think Usyk should be able to pick who he wants to fight now. He's a three-time undisputed champion, one a cruiserweight, two a heavyweight. But he said, ultimately, my goal is to get that last title back and become a three-time undisputed champion at heavyweight. So, do I think that he takes the Wilder fight, then fights Fabio Warley for that to go undisputed again? I really think it could happen. Usyk can win that fight. I said it all along. Usyk's retiring undefeated. I don't think there's anybody on this planet that can beat Alexander Usyk.
Not Moises Itama, huh? The people were going to start accusing him of ducking, or maybe Fabio Wardley.
Here's the thing: Fabio Wardley is beatable, very beatable. Moises Itama, you haven't really seen enough of him to really say that, hey, he's going to be he's going to be a star or something. He hasn't been tested. And until he faces, until he faces that challenge, we're not, and everything, we're not going to see nothing. And, we're not going to, can't really question Moses Itama yet.
Speaking it,
But if you look at certain people in that, who do you favor Itama over right now? I could say I probably would have favored him. I don't know about favoring him over Fabio Worley and everything yet, but we need a big name like Caballero. I think Caballero will beat Moses Itama.
Hey, I wanted to thank MAW for that kind super chat once more. Speaking of heavyweights, Drew, now this was rather impressive for me to see this picture. I stumbled upon this. I'm sure you guys have seen it already. But Jake Paul has called upon some pretty big names in the heavyweight division. This is shocking because Jared Anderson got whooped by Bacoli, but reportedly last week he brought these three heavyweights into camp as he prepares with just 2 weeks left, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks left before he gets in the ring with Anthony Joshua, a gold medalist and former heavyweight champion. He brought in Jared Anderson, Bacoli, and Frank Sanchez. And Frank Sanchez is reportedly going to be in an IBF eliminator, and people don't want to seem to sign up for that IBF eliminator. It's not making any sense. Now they're even saying Richard Torres might get an opportunity if he wants it for that IBF. But I'm just saying, one of these boxers was saying they were quite impressed with Jake Paul, but we're gonna find out. Is he a heavyweight? Which I don't think. Clearly, he's not a real heavyweight. He's a cruiserweight. But and some of you would argue that he's not even a real cruiserweight boxer, as it is. But this was rather impressive. Drew, speaking of fights that are going to be potentially made, before I get your opinion on the Teofimo Lopez Shakur fight, you brought this up to me. Other people have sent me this today. But we were joking that ChatGPT, they asked ChatGPT who was some of the most overrated boxers of this current generation. I think they went back to 2000 to 2025. And ChatGPT threw in Ronda Rousey. And I laughed about that last week because Ronda Rousey, to my knowledge, had never fought professionally as a women's boxer. She has a career in judo, Olympic medalist, and, UFC and WWE. But here she is. We're talking about Ronda Rousey. She's going to fight Katie in a Netflix special. They're trying to get this date, and this is going to reportedly be in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, Katie Taylor versus Ronda Rousey in negotiations for the summer of 2026, which most likely will be a Netflix televised thing. It'll be brought to you by Jake Paul, and I imagine Jake Paul thinks he's going to fight somebody this summer, potentially right here in Las Vegas. I'm going to guess, but Ronda Rousey doesn't stand a chance. I actually saw her. I saw already starting her training for this. She was never a great striker in the UFC. She's gonna get knocked out. Just saying, she's gonna get knocked out.
I thought she was overrated. And like when she went to the world of professional wrestling, I think she felt like she was entitled and everything to a lot of shit. And like you don't pay, like not paying your dues and everything. But like I don't think she's gonna stand a chance against Katie Taylor. I think she's like looking for anything of a payday now because she claims I will not go back to wrestling even for $1 billion. I don't think any promoter will want her as in wrestling in their company.
That's wild, Drew. I'm speaking of the UFC. Dana White made his big announcement on Sunday, NFL Sunday, right? He at halftime announced his first Paramount show, I believe, guys. And we're going to find out how that model works because he's wanting to shake things up with this whole UFC Paramount deal. Like people got enough streaming already, but I mean, if it includes something you want to see, I'm pretty sure you're going to subscribe to Paramount. They're promising to deliver top level fights just by subscribing to Paramount. And I was going to bring them up, Drew. Today I read that Mike Tyson is behind Dana White and his Muhammad Ali Reform Act, that he's in favor of it. Now, I wonder how much that's going to sway hardcore boxing fans in favor of what Dana White's trying to accomplish.
It's not going to do him shit.
It's funny how they're teaming up. But, like if you love the UFC, let me know. Are you signing up for Paramount just in time for this, January 1st showing? Paramount is $120 a year for the premium version. That breaks down to $10 a month for the UFC. Mom Flu says, hi, Paul. I'm good to see everybody in here. I appreciate it, guys. If you didn't hit that like, I appreciate it. If you did, maybe share it with somebody, one of your friends later on the replay that may like UFC, football, and boxing talk. Did Dana White address the pay-per-view yet? I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. Because I don't feel like you're going to get everything for free, right, Drew, with this UFC Paramount deal?
I don't know. Here's the issue. Like, there's no really big stars in UFC anymore. And his pay-per-view numbers haven't really done shit. So it's getting to a point that people clearly don't give a fuck about the UFC like that.
Yeah. Paul says, I'm a UFC fan, but I'm not going to get Paramount. $10 sounds pretty reasonable. It's what got me into the boxing. DAZN, when DAZN premiered in 2017 now, Drew, from what I remember, they promised us $9.99 forever. Remember that? I mean, you canceled that a long time ago, and I also got rid of it too. So I'm excited to see how that's going to work out, and we'll see. Now, January 31 promises to start off with a bang. I know for a fact that there's going to be a great fight in Las Vegas in January. Raymond Murataya will be defending his title at 135 pounds. I'm looking forward to that matchup at the Fontainebleau, Drew. But we talked about a Shakur Stevenson. They let him go from Top Rank. Maybe they thought he was worth way too much money. Then every time he fought on a main event that was televised on ESPN, people walked away from that. I mean, people used to call Shakur, the cure to insomnia. I think Drew said it before, right? You said it. Yeah. They let him go. They parted ways with him. Teofimo also is fought on before major events. I believe he fought Super Bowl weekend when my 49ers were here in Las Vegas. I went to that fight. Teofimo versus Jermaine Ortiz. Teofimo struggles against counter punchers. He struggles against Jermaine Ortiz. He struggled against the Spanish fighter. Who's the
I
Spanish
thought
fighter?
he lost to Sandor Martin too.
Sandor Martin. So what's going to be different this time? First of all, Teo is the champion at 140 pounds. Shakur first won his first title at 126 pounds featherweight. I was there in Reno for that. He now wants to be a 4-division world champion. I'm feeling right now like he's going to do it. I'm feeling like the blueprint to beat Shakur has not been created yet. And watching Teofimo fight in these big fights against counterpunchers, how's he going to take the fight to Shakur and crack the code? Anybody here who watches this boxing, and some of you are, I'm sure, are already on social media. A lot of people on Twitter are like, man, this fight is going to be a bore fest to kick off boxing in January. It's going to be, look, you already sleepy.
Probably is.
Sleepy just talking about it.
Yeah.
If you're a hardcore fight fan, are you excited about it? I mean, I put it's the sweet science. I said it's going to.
I'm not. I'm sorry. It's not. I wouldn't even pay $1 to see this shit.
Damn. So
sorry,
it's gonna be pay-per-view, guys.
I wouldn't pay $1 to see this shit. I'm sorry. I wouldn't pay $1 to see this fight. I would not pay $1 to see Shakur Stevenson fight.
Man, Teo's pointing at you right now. So Teo's still here, man. So Teo was with me that one night. I got that one video with Teofimo's dad. That got 10,000 views in like 24 hours, man. I was so ecstatic. I was like, damn, finally got a... And Teofimo talked to me for a split minute. Teo at that night that I met him at the Virgin expressed to me that he would not mind ending up on Peacock. And I tried. We were all like scratching our heads. What did you just say? Peacock? He said he wouldn't mind headlining on Peacock. And all jokes aside, he was kind of onto something because Dana White moved on to Paramount. You don't associate boxing with Peacock, or you didn't associate UFC with Paramount, but here we are, just not even 2 years later. All right, is anybody excited about this fight between these two? 702 Man Cave says, I think he needs to fight a Mexican style. And I thought that, hey, that is the exact kind of fighter that's going to crack the code against Shakur Stevenson, like Castillo did against Floyd Mayweather in their very first matchup. I think but is Teo that guy, Drew? Can Teo sustain a nonstop offense? It's not him, right?
It's not him. I think the way it's going to go, Teo is going to hit him one big shot, and Shakur is going to fight him like he fought Dos Santos.
Be
a boring fight.
It's going to be a boring fight. Last year, you guys remember, and this fight is coming up, man. Diego Pacheco's team supposedly assaulted a reporter, quote unquote reporter. I actually met the guy. His name was Jeremy. I met him out at the PBC fight. And somebody sent me one of his latest videos, TikTok videos, Instagram videos. Jeremy's talking about Shakur's teeth. This is why boxers apparently don't like that guy, Jeremy Fiorentino, I believe is his name. Shakur got new teeth, Drew. I can't vouch. I don't know if it's true, but you know what? If he got new teeth, good for Shakur, man. Fuck.
Good for you, man.
Good for him. Hey, man, spend that money wisely, man. There's nothing like feeling good about yourself. If he wanted a whole new veneers on top or whatever he did, from the picture I saw, his teeth look great. Good for Shakur. Good for you, man. There's a lot more dumb things people could spend money on, but if you want to get yourself a nice grill, man, I'm for it, Drew. This popped up on my timeline, not related to boxing, Drew, but you and me, we're live streaming right now, chilling. You're in the comfort of your home. You know who won't stop streaming and is ridiculously doing good? Skatibo. That's right, Cam Skatibo. Jackson. Twitch. He's a big Twitch guy now. And Jackson Dart, what's that?
He hosted my boy. He rated my boy stream last week.
Why don't you tell me? Look at that. He got his whole setup, man. Actually, Cam Skatibo looks like he lives in a dorm, bro. It looks like he's a dorm guy still, a college student. But yeah, he's live streaming on Twitch. I don't know what his schedule is, but he had Jackson Dart just the other day. And obviously Jackson Dart played today. But yeah, you guys can watch him on stream. So what happened, Drew? Tell me about that. Your friend was on it. He got crashed. He went on your boy's stream.
Yeah, he was done streaming, and he sent his people over to his stream to watch it.
Nice, man.
He hosted him.
Nice. Let's get
To
on
me,
this show. What are we doing?
to me, I don't know, but like I tell like Eagles players, you wanna raid my fucking stream when I go live on Twitch. Just come over, man.
That's
It's
right.
gonna be rough.
Well, this weekend, guys, unfortunately, it isn't going to be inexpensive, but there's plenty of places. I think Fonzie's coming into town this weekend, man. Fonzie, if you're out there, hit me up. Let me know where you're going to watch this fight. It is a pay-per-view, but it's actually a very good card. I'm enthused by this card. Pitbull versus Roach could be what's going on with that title.
I don't know, man. To be honest, I could care less about it. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I'm not paying $84 to see Pitbull and Roach as a main event. I'm just not.
It could be one of these fights that's actually going to be fight of the year type fight.
It's not a pay-per-view card.
All right.
I knew it.
Teo versus Shakur could be a battle of counterpunchers competing for ground, depending how well Shakur feels standing with Teo. If it gets too hot in that kitchen, Shakur will give ground and go on his back foot. And he fights exceptionally well off that back foot. It's a game of inches with Shakur, and most of the time people cannot land punches on him. Absolutely right. Drew, what I was talking about was that recently Subriel Matias, 140-pound champion, came up dirty for Osterine, just like Ryan Garcia. And you have to think as they go through the process that he's going to get stripped. And if he gets stripped, whoever wins this fight, Pitbull versus Roach, could be, either fighting for a vacant title or just be emailed the championship, another email championship. So there's a lot at stake in this main event. For the middleweight division, you got two really good fights, but one of them means a lot, and that's because Janibek has not been able to attract big names in this division. Janibek is kind of the dark horse of the middleweights. He's a humongous middleweight. In fact, if you guys go look for Janibek and Terrence Bud Crawford pictures side by side, he towers over Terrence Bud Crawford, and Terrence Bud Crawford just beat Canelo. Anyways, unification. If Lara loses, and I think he's going to lose, that's it. Where do you go for Lara? You're 42 years old. Is this your last payday? Fulton versus Foster. I would think you'd be excited about this one.
I think Fulton beats Foster.
Yeah, and also on this card is going to be that's not listed here, but Frank Martin is on this card against Francis Bartholomew. That could end up being on the YouTube portion. I'm not sure where they'll put it on YouTube to entice you to get the fight. And then Ramos Jr. of Arizona, who we featured on this show plenty of times. This is some type of eliminator with Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. So, Drew, let me go quickly to the odds on DraftKings, and I'll straight up ask you who wins this fight. Frank Martin versus Francis Bartholomew at 140 pounds. Frank Martin is a -700 favorite. Francis Bartholomew, he's like a gatekeeper at this point, but man, he can always surprise you.
Give me Frank Martin.
Frank Martin. I'm going to keep it real, man. I would not be surprised. I'm going with Francis Bartholomew on an upset. That's plus 425. Would not be surprised. I don't know how Frank Martin's going to look at 140. Let's get to the Jesus Ramos. Massive favorite at 160 pounds. Did he officially leave 154 forever? It seems like it, but he's a -1200 favorite against Shane Mosley Jr. Shane Mosley Jr., Drew, he's one of the few fighters that I've seen out in Vegas, and I think it's good. It's appropriate that fighters get followed around. You need to make content. You need to have a film production crew filming your content, vlogs. In fact, shout out to Jesus Ramos Jr., guys. Go watch his vlog on YouTube. He put up one of his training camp, and he doesn't have as many followers as I think Jesus Ramos should have. Just Google him on YouTube and watch his vlog in training camp for this fight, Shane Mosley Jr. But Shane Mosley Jr., Drew, he had an entourage. I seen him at Cosmo. He had an entourage and a camera crew, and he was holding up a fake belt. But I'm like, what title did he win? Anybody?
Good for him. Closest thing he's gonna get to a title. Good for him.
But he's the only fighter I've ever seen. Look, I talked with Man Cave about this because the Vargas brothers are doing it really greatly, like the whole vlogging, social media presence that you need to have. But Shane Mosley's the only one I've seen with a whole entourage filming him. I'm like, for real? Like, damn, I don't know he had a camera crew like that following him and he holding up a belt. Now, Jesus Ramos, negative 1,200. Can he knock anybody out again, man? Does he have the power to knock somebody out? Shane Mosley Jr., he's always hit or miss. He's either really great and shows signs of his father, being his father, and sometimes he's lackluster. I got Jesus Ramos by decision on this one.
I got Jesus by decision too.
Hey, I appreciate that, Crypto. Yeah, with Drew and Dave, I appreciate that, man. Moving on the fight, Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster. Damn, this fight is good, man. That is a good fight. He's a negative 105 favorite. Your boy Stephen Fulton, he has the experience, but O'Shaquie Foster, man, he has so much heart. This is a toss-up. I'm going to go with Stephen Fulton on this one by decision, Drew, but I will not be surprised if O'Shaquie Foster has an upset. Depends, man. Stephen Fulton, what do you think? He's now officially at 130 pounds. He's moved up. He keeps looking stronger.
Decision.
Yeah. Ramos via decision for me, too. I'm going with Fulton for decision on that one as well, Drew, but I won't be surprised, man. You can never count O'Shaquie Foster out. In the co-main event, Janibek, I would think should be a little bit bigger of a favorite here, but they got him at negative 475 on DraftKings.com. Erislandy Lara, his greatest fight ever against Canelo Alvarez, where he came up shy. And many people to this day will still argue that he beat Canelo in the prime. Canelo's prime at 154. Can he outbox him with the Cuban school? Anybody think at 42 he can outbox him?
I'm picking it Lara to beat Janibek. Janibek is hit or miss.
Damn.
I just think you don't know what Janibek you're going to get. He looks like shit. And he can look like shit. He has to have a good showing. I just think Lara's got one more good fight in him.
Yeah, the thing with Erislandy Lara, Drew, is that if he wins these both titles, the world is his oyster. I mean, you would have overnight, you have Terrence Crawford reportedly asking he's cool with fighting Canelo again, but he wants $100 million. Or he could just say, you know what? I'd like to fight Erislandy Lara and snatch up 2 of those titles. Right now, instantly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for Erislandy Lara, he's 52. The thing with Cuban fighters is you never know how old they really are because that paperwork is. And I'll say this, man, if he's 45 or 46 and still, like, how remarkable would that be if his papers are falsified? He's actually, like these baseball player kids, international kids that are like 16 but pretending to be 12. Yeah. That's remarkable. Oh man, I feel like Janibek is gonna potentially could stop Lara, but then Lara's so good even defensively. His legs are unreal for an older fighter. Janibek by KO is a negative 120. It's not like DraftKings thinks he's gonna knock him out. Janibek by decision plus 200. Lara by KO plus 800. Lara by decision plus 700.
Going by decision.
Lara by decision plus 700. Damn, Drew, if you really feel compelled, man, $10 will win you $70. $100 will win you 700. I'm going with Janibek by decision on that one. Although, man, that would be remarkable. Lara did just beat your boy. He still looked pretty good doing it. And in the main event, Isaac Cruz and Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach reportedly is stronger and heavier 2 weeks before against Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz has been outboxed. He lost his title to El Rayo Valenzuela. Lamont Roach just outboxed you know, he's got that. He's riding in with a wave of momentum. In his mind, he thinks he beat Tank Davis. He outboxed him. Usyk Cruz, great Mexican pressure fighter. He's been in some wars. Lamont Roach, a negative 215 favorite. He is the favorite. Okay, well, I'm not saying anything crazy. I got Lamont Roach winning this by decision, guys. And it'll be remarkable.
I got Lamont Roach winning by decision too.
So MAW says Lara likely doesn't have the 154 legs anymore, so turned into that boxer puncher. He counters really well. Depends how Lara handles Janibek's heavy shots. We'll see. And indeed, even into his late, when he made his debut at 160, he was able to knock out that guy on. I remember that fight. It was outdoors, and it didn't take him very long to land that heavy counter shot. So he is very much more reliant on countering and timing people. So can he time Janibek? That's going to be remarkable. I think that if he does time Janibek, Drew, Lara could probably hurt him, buckle Janibek's legs. He's got enough pop in that southpaw. He has a lot of reach, and he generates a lot of torque. And I'm liking this fight, guys. So let me know if you guys are going to watch it and put your picks in the comment section afterwards. That'd be great to see you guys' picks. Yeah, Drew?
So if you take Frank Martin money line, Jesus money line, Fulton money line, Law by decision, Roach by decision, you put a $20 bet down, you win $684.
That's worth it. That's a hell of a parlay. Is that on DraftKings?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice. Yeah, I'm curious, guys. Let me know if you guys are going to watch it. Let me know what you think. This is the December 6th fight. And looking ahead at the boxing schedule, I know there's a Matchroom boxing fight that nobody's talking about. Why is this not listed here? Matchroom boxing. Unless I got my dates all wrong.
I know Jairo Katara fighting this weekend.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Listen, guys, if you guys don't know, those of you that are new, I'm from born and raised in the Bay Area. And Stockton is an extension for a lot of people. We recognize Stockton as an extension of the Bay Area. A lot of people from the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, moved to Stockton over the generations, 80s, 90s, because the Bay Area had become too expensive. And so Stockton feels like, you know, an extension of the Bay Area. And if you guys didn't hear, there was a mass shooting, possibly is most likely gang related and involves the hip hop world, where this Sunday children died at a birthday party. And it's a very tragic event for people in Stockton. They need something, you know, they need somebody to root for. They need a distraction. And I just, please, I'm praying, guys, don't bring any drama to this event. This event's December 13th. Matchroom Boxing, Diego Pacheco. On the undercount is their hometown hero, Gabriel Flores, 27-2, fighting a former world champion. This is the hardest fight. Gabe Flores, next to the fight when he fought Elvinato Lopez. This will be the hardest fight of his career. Joe Cordina, a former world champion. If he can beat Joe Cordina in his hometown, he could potentially be eyeing a 130-pound title opportunity. And so I'm just like saying, man, please, everybody out in Stockton, they need to heal. No drama at this event. If there's, you know, this thing needs to go off. Show some support and some love for your hometown fighters out there. And I'm praying for everybody in Stockton, California, over that tragedy that happened. It's a real sad thing. You know, Drew, not to bring people down. I'm not trying to bring people down at the end of the show, but there's a friend of mine that I used to have on YouTube, guys. This guy went by the name Let Us Market You. And he didn't watch our channel, but he used to watch all my vlogs, and he would always let me know. They can comment. And I cannot confirm, but people told me he passed away this week. And I used to be really cool with him on YouTube, and he always can. If anybody's listening to me, actually 702 Man Cave. I don't want to like cross any boundaries, but it appears that Gabe Flores, the boxer I just spoke about, you guys know he was a top ranked fighter the best fighter out of Stockton, but it appears that he lost a family member in this shooting. But so prayers for him and everyone affected for sure. And then on top of that, I heard that potentially this homie that went by Lettuce Market You, and I can't confirm it. He's a YouTube content creator, Drew. I can't confirm it. I heard he passed away this weekend. Mom Food, yeah, I don't know. It's going around. I can't get a hold of him, but they said that Lettuce Market You passed away this weekend. Yes, Paul, Lettuce supposedly passed away, and I cannot confirm it. So if anybody knows somebody in his circle, his family, the last time I talked to him, he asked me, can I go and vlog some Greek food? He was like, I love Greek food. Shushan, can you go out and make a vlog on some Vegas Greek food? That he would love to have some videos and see Greek food out here in Las Vegas. So if it's true, guys, pray for his soul out there. And if it's not true, shame on you for making up a rumor like that. In fact, Finney, remember Finney? Rest in peace to Finney, who also passed away this June. He used to love lettuce. He always used to make fun of lettuce. He loved lettuce. So if you guys know anything about that, hit me up on my Instagram or let me know in the comment section if you can confirm it. Drew, any final words? You good? All right. Well, we're going to be back this Thursday, Thursday Night Football, Drew. If you're good with it, we'll do our tailgate talk. Shout out to Paul, who tied Man Cave this week with 10 wins apiece. We'll be playing that game right up until December 22nd. And this week, Wednesday, I was just talking, I got some new equipment. So we're going to do a show if it's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday at lunchtime. So keep tuned for that. Man Cave and I will be doing another show from his studios this week. So I appreciate everybody. God bless. Thank you, MAW, for that beautiful, beautiful super chat. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.